typical Eagle fashion, we're late.
All Eagles fault.
What is after noon? What comes next?
Is what begins the
Noon, then afternoon, then evening, right? Evening. We're in the evening.
Very evening.
Then midnight.
Midnight.
Is in the AM.
It's very different from noon.
Yes,
Despite being similarly named.
exactly.
For example, you're not Shaka Khan.
No, exactly. Good evening. Welcome to the Calling the Audible podcast for Division E, the Ebony and Ivory show.
Indeed.
PZ is Ebony. I am the Ivory.
Obviously.
Hunger Games. Antonio Diversa. I never called you Antonio, have I?
No, I don't think so.
Hunger
Until now.
Games. Yeah. Our producer, Eagle. I don't know what. I think he's the ultra producer. Or the
Also producer, yeah.
ultimate producer.
There you go.
Or that as well. The client as well. Let's get into it. We are at the halfway point.
Before we get into it, Mo,
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know, I don't know if you read this today, O Canada, the O Canada song,
Yes.
lawmakers have in fact voted to change the lyrics of Canada's national anthem to make it gender neutral. So whether you're as neutral as Belgium or as aggressive as a squirrel in the box, where can you get your jerseys?
I'll be honest. You can get a jersey from Sportira, the official home of the podcast here. If you're not in the cage, you're in the cage. Sportira, go on the website and order yourself. Maybe too late now if you want to get uniforms, but for next winter, January 2017, get yourself a gorgeous shirt. Sleeveless shirt. We can go.
Go sleeveless.
Or you can go
with sleeves.
sleeves, with no sleeves, whatever you want, and shorts. And they will have that ready for you for the next winter season 2017. I know you have a bunch of
Whole collection.
Sportira. I know
Keep getting cut.
Hunger Games has a few of those
I
Sportira
got
stuff.
He keeps getting cut too. Because of his
Exactly.
association to me.
Exactly.
I hate you,
And they are the proud sponsor of the podcast for this spring. All right, let's dive into it. By the way, if you asked me to sing the Canadian national anthem, I wouldn't be able to do it without help.
I can only do the English one because I went to school like so long ago that they only taught the English one.
I don't
So
know.
like now at the games, they're just like.
I don't know the words off by heart.
Hey, thanks, Eagle. That's not helpful.
All right, speaking of helpful, let's talk about the game that really stood out from this past weekend. Warriors, Spartans. Team Sparty humbles the Warriors 25-12.
Sparty Humbles is a great name for a team, by the way.
That would be maybe a nickname for next year. James Dandria, 3 TDs, 147 yards passing. Alexis Bisset had 2 receiving touchdowns.
And
on
he's a monster. Like
3 catches as well.
He's one of, if not the most explosive receivers. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
the best receivers in the league later in the show, but like he has to be one of the most explosive receivers. And like it's a combination. It's his own skill, but also playing on that team gives him such an opportunity to put up big yards with like, what do you have? 3 catches, 70 yards in this game?
73 yards and 2 TDs. So
And 3 catches.
and
Though.
3 catches.
That's
right.
ridiculous.
Now, if you are the Warriors, are you arguably they probably gave them the toughest run for their money, given the scoreline finish of being a 13-point victory. But if you're the Warriors, what do you take away from this game that you could very well see this team maybe down the road in the playoffs?
I like that they held them to 25 points and to only 6 in the second half.
No explosive plays, by the way.
Sorry?
No explosive plays, like big plays. You know, James Dandre always has those games where he goes,
Yeah.
say, 6 for 10.
Well,
but
other
5
than the
more
big
touchdowns.
catches by Bissett. because,
Exactly.
Again, 3 for 73 is massive.
It's pretty intense.
But the thing is, like, they forced the Spartans to march the field. They didn't allow the Spartans to put up any points in the second half. Oh, so they held to 6 points in the second half. And what they've seen is their offense is not quite ready. But if I would say, Mo, if you can put up 5 scores in FPF in the playoffs, you have a chance to win.
I've seen some teams put up 5 scores and lose.
Of course, but
He's a chance.
if you put up
There is a
if you
chance
put up
on
5
games.
scores, you will win most of the FPF playoff games.
9 times out of 10, you will. That
There we
one
go.
time could be in
That's
the
fine.
playoffs.
Luckily, there's not 10 rounds, so you're
oh,
fine.
God. Can you imagine if there was a 10-round playoff?
I would be unhappy.
Round 6 here in mid-September on a gorgeous Friday night.
You're like, all right, with only 65 teams left.
The road to the Final Four has begun. Other games that caught my attention from this past week, a
Go for
very
it.
close one, the Roadrunners Trinity,
Yeah.
32-31 victory for the Roadrunners. I saw a bit of the game from afar in Brossard. And, look, we again, not to be repetitive, what we talked about the Roadrunners, of course, as being a far inferior team with what they are in Small Giants. But, I mean, to beat a decent Trinity team who I saw play 2 weeks ago that sort of kind of fell into a lull against Huard and stuff. This is a big win because, again, we talk about teams coming into the last half of the year winning these type of close games. As you mentioned before with playoffs, it could bode well if they're in a closer situation down the road.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Like, again, I don't want to touch on it too much because I'm going to be talking about a couple of these teams later.
Yeah.
But Trinity, it surprised me that they allowed this many points in this game.
I don't know what happened with Trinity the last couple weeks here. I don't know what's going on with them right now. I mean, like, this is a team that size-wise, they have a lot of guys that can play at this level here. But now you look at their last two games in which, again, they lost by 12 to Lehiuar, they lost by 1 to the Roadrunners. Those are two critical losses. I know we'll talk about the midseason report card and whatever, but you can ill afford to have these type of losses, but what could be the saving grace for them is the fact that they have a tie, PZ, which could absolve them from any tiebreakers.
Yeah,
at
but the
the
tie
end of the year.
usually, unless you have a really strong record to begin with, the tie usually just paralyzes your chances in playoffs.
It could if you have
Like
two
if you're
ties.
around 500, man, having a tie is tough.
It could if you have two ties in the end of the day. What else caught your attention from this past week?
The Smoking Axles beat the
Water
Aliens,
Lizards, yes.
19 to 18. Jordan Rossi won the Battle of Converts, which is nice to see because we haven't always thought of Jordan to be a polished quarterback. So he got the convert. Wakasi did not. So it's cool to see that. Joseph Stefakis and William Power combined for 3 picks in this game. 1 from Stefakis, 2 from Power. Two guys are starting to make a name for themselves in Division E this spring. And finally, Mathieu Wakasi. Rough outing anytime he tried to throw to anyone not named Simon Bosquet-Baudin. Also, tidbit, his name's actually not Simon Bosquet-Baudin. It's just Simon Baudin.
So the Bosque was just another
Yeah, it's just like a nickname.
added flavor.
Yeah.
Rolling Thunder, thundering their way to 31-13 victory over Lehiuard, and quite a letdown for Lehiuard because they had an emotional victory over Trinity 2 weeks ago. But for Rolling Thunder, though, a big win for them. I know you look at Jeremy D. 50% passing, but 5 TDs, 2 INTs in the game. David Santomo, we know who he is. He's a guy that has had much experience in the FPF world with 2 TD catches and 4 catches. We look at this team right now for Rolling Thunder where they could be at this point. They could very well be a team that you don't want to face if you're trying to get into the playoffs. And if they do get into the tournament, boy, that's going to be a very tough opening round for whoever will face them if they qualify.
I'm going to hold my comments because I'm talking about some
I
of
know
these
you
teams
are.
later.
That's what I'm trying to poke you,
Nope.
poke the bear.
I'm going to hold on. I got a chance to see STC Crusaders. Alex Gray did enough, throwing 2 TDs and 1 interception. He also had 7 rushing attempts and a TD. The score sheet doesn't say that, but I confirmed that it actually was Alex Gray. And it looked like the Crusaders were scared of his running attack more than anything else, as they just sort of would bite in any direction he would run at and then toss it over their heads. On the other side of the ball for the Crusaders, Patrick Giffard has been amazing, but other players need to step it up because he had an interception and 8 catches in this game, and like the rest of the stat sheet just looks like a bunch of zeros.
Well,
Not the people, but the numbers. Also, I guess if you're putting up the zeros.
Well, a reminder for those teams out there, and we'll talk about this later on here. We're at the halfway point, and at this point of the year, if you want to add on a new player, that player has to play the remaining games to be playoff eligible. The rule is in the springtime, you need 5 spring games to be eligible for the playoffs, not 6 as you would for winter. So please be advised that from this point onwards, if you're going to add a new player that you hope to have in the playoffs, you have to play the rest of the year. One thing to look at here, PZ. We talk about the Spartans.
Yes. Honestly, first of all, I thought preseason that they were one of my top teams, and you were like, well, you're out of your mind, Peas. There's no talent on that team. They're terrible. They should probably not even talk to their families
That's a
anymore.
terrible Mocon
But
impersonation.
it's pretty accurate, Chapman?
I'll give you 80%.
Nice, 80%.
80%, please. My ass.
So then what happens there is like, look, they have a very good offense. They're putting up a ton of points, and like they're barely allowing a touchdown a game. Like it's foolish. To think anyone else is the top gun in this top tier team in this division is strange because I don't know what you're basing it on.
Well, look, Spartans are in control of the division now.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Warriors. Okay, they have essentially, after the Warriors, they have a 5-point lead on the next point, which is Trinity for first place.
Yeah.
So it would take an utter collapse for them to fail miserably and fall.
You asked if they're the best team in Division E. I don't agree.
But here's my point, though, right?
Okay.
At 5-0, defense is playing very well. Their offense has been explosive, and you see they almost hit 200 points after 5 games. They're maybe on pace out on the outside looking in for 400 points total. They could be, and the one thing I caution about the Spartans is the fact that in the playoffs last year, I think Deer in the Headlights kind of caught them, and they didn't look good at all.
But they were caught by the deer in the headlights?
Maybe.
Because then you're pretty bad.
That's pretty awful.
Because they don't move.
that's my question, though. Is that are they a team that's going to be the same storyline as last year, where they go through the regular season relatively with ease, and then come first playoff game, freeze and just don't play well? That's my worry about this football team. Are they playoff ready? And if they are they going to make that deep run this year?
Look, it's possible. That said, they haven't played Trinity yet, which is the next best team in the division. They just beat the Warriors, so fine. They beat the Warriors, which is one of the other top 3 teams in the division.
Yeah.
But we'll see by week 10 whether or not they're ready. I still think that the explosive offense is nice. It was nice to see them drive the field in this game against the Warriors, but
Yeah.
I want to see if they can do it more consistently.
Well,
because the big plays aren't always there in the playoffs.
We'll talk about their division a bit later on here and how deep it is. And they could be entering a gauntlet of games where you ask yourself, okay, well, can maybe the undefeated term be used? Because at 5-0, they're definitely in control of the 1 seed and could very well finish with 8, maybe 9, perhaps 10 wins and be part of the PZ's.
10 would have to be perfect. Mo.
If they hit 10-0, would you wear a Spartans undefeated shirt?
Yes.
You hear that, Spartans?
Absolutely. Challenge. Spartans go 10-0. Make me look foolish. You can put whatever you want. There's no like swear words or anything ridiculous, but you know what? Make it look like a clown suit. I'll wear it.
All right, so you have the challenge, Spartans. If you go 10-0, PZ will wear a T-shirt with the undefeated on it.
And he's worn a lot of things in the past, including a Wizards outfit.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the midseason.
I look like a fat Captain Crunch commercial.
Or something else. But let's talk about the midseason assessment here. At the halfway point, not a letter grade, we talk about satisfactory, unsatisfactory. When we were in high school, the first term assessment was satisfactory, unsatisfactory.
Did you go like to a Montessori school where you got like a squirrel for behavior?
No.
Mo?
No.
I give you a squirrel for behavior.
I try not to be as nice. Let's talk about it right now. In terms of teams that have satisfied your needs, who is that?
Sexually?
Sexually or on the field?
Well, at the moment, none of the teams have satisfied me sexually, but teams that have, I mean, look, I want to look at actually teams that need to step it up and teams that have disappointed me. If you're not on the list, you're pretty much on par with what we thought. Like Jean Guy is a good example. Like to me, I rate you exactly a C, because C is you give me exactly what I expected, nothing more, nothing less. But I want to look at some of the teams that need to step up,
So
that
who
are performing.
So they're unsatisfactory right now with your books.
Unsatisfactory. I'm not disappointed per se, but unsatisfactory in that, like, look, we all know you can do better.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell your parents, listen, your kid's not trying hard enough. He has so much potential. Potential with
Like beast mode?
Yeah, beast mode. They're on my list, but they're the first one. I'll get them next. But having all this potential, it's just something teachers say to your parents because they don't want to say, man, your kid's lazy. They're terrible. I hate your child. So right now, beast mode, I hate your child. I straight up hate your child.
You know what's the crazy part, though, about them? At 1-3-1, they have the second highest output on offense in their division.
Mm-hmm. Because he can't stop anybody right now, anyway.
They're +1, and they're still 2 games below
Yeah.
500.
It happens. It's not. Look, they've blown a team out, and that's what happens. Look, I know you had a tough schedule as Mo pointed out, and having that tie, you could have easily been 2-3. And I expected you around 6-4 when we did the breakdown of your team, when Mo called you overrated for no apparent reason.
Which
but
I'm right, by the way.
I still think you can now have a nice second half of the season, go 6-4, show me that I was right about you.
I think Jags and Chill, they're unsatisfactory.
I got him too. I got him on my list too. Tell me why you think so.
Look, you look at their talent. I know they're the minor league squad
Jagerbaum.
for Jagerbaum, right? You have JF Delos at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's hard to transition from receiver DB to quarterback. Not an easy
We
thing
all
to do.
know.
We all know, right?
The two hosts of the show know that better
We know
than
very
most.
well.
Well, but that's the thing is,
But they have
if
such a dearth of FPF experience that you
Yeah.
ask yourself, how is it that they are only 3-2,
What
not
is it,
4-1?
I think you combined a couple of words there. And
Earth and dirt.
Earth and dirt.
Dirt and
Okay.
dirt.
All right,
Dirt
fair.
and dirt. But, you know, like, and like they're 3-2, but let's not forget, though, they lost that game to the Tigers on the last play. They could be easily 4-1, but I think it's unsatisfactory because right now they should be running over teams and with ease, and they have not done that at all.
For Deloso, what I will say is he's a phenomenal athlete, and he's done okay at quarterback, but he needs to protect the ball better. Already having thrown 7 interceptions so far in the season. If you can do a better job protecting the ball, I think this will be a scary team in the second half of the season.
So they're unsatisfactory for me.
Same
And
category.
Which other teams on your list right now?
I got Tigers because the 3-2
Are they satisfactory or unsatisfactory?
unsatisfactory.
Okay, fair enough.
The 3-2, but they're somewhat lackluster. They seem a little streaky, and they're the makings of a talented team that are somewhat disorganized and don't really have like everything it takes to win every game. But they can go on a run. So let's see them go on a run and make it an exciting playoff.
I think Raul Mahan told me a couple weeks ago when I saw him at his business establishment that he works at, that his family runs.
What's he work? Give it a shout out.
He works at a restaurant called Push Up.
Push Up.
Yeah.
Like the bra.
No.
And the exercise.
No.
Do I have to do push-ups to eat there?
No, but it's really good food, by the way.
Let's do it.
Media
Media outing. Rahul, we're coming.
We're coming. The Mahans are coming. We're doing our show from there, by the way, next Thursday.
Nice.
I think right now you said it perfectly that they have the talent to work with, but their biggest question mark is the quarterback play. And Raul is trying his best to be that guy. But I think, PZ, their biggest question mark is that if they get into a shootout where a team jumps out to a 14 or 2-score, 3-score lead,
it's
it's
not
over.
their strength.
Not
Absolutely.
their strength.
I also have Trinity. Such a good defense, but have lost the last two. They need to close out
Ugly,
games.
though.
I mean, Jean-Felix Marquis is averaging only 3.4 scores a game, and then 5 to me is the marker. If you want to know how you're doing in FPF, you need to be allowing less than 5 scores and scoring 5 scores a game. That's it. Plain and simple.
No, it's a valid point you bring up. I just think that with Trinity,
Mathematically, it is valid. Yes.
it is. I think Trinity right now, they are going to have an issue at the end of the year where they're going to say this, they're going to kick themselves in the butt and say, if we hadn't lost or we lost one or two as opposed to the last two, we could have been a higher seed than where we are. And
it's annoying because they have the makings of a team that's going to do well like first round, and then like in the later round of the playoffs, just have a bad game and lose. Like that's what they look like right now.
I'll give you a team that I'm satisfied with because they're much more competitive now than they were in winter. Lehuar.
You're satisfied with them?
Yeah, I'm satisfied with them because look,
I'm going negative first, so you go sprinkle some joy in this podcast.
at 2-3, look, they beat Grand Kong week 1. They beat Trinity a couple weeks ago. Lost a tough one to Rolling Thunder by 3 scores.
Mm-hmm.
But they have made improvements. I score capped their games last winter, and they were awful.
Yes,
Horrible.
I remember. I was there for one of the big ones.
Yeah, and this year, though, they are much more competitive. And I just think that Nick Belot's put together a good team of guys that I think he can grow with and become a decent 5B team next winter. But for the time being, though, at 2-3, if that defense is on point, as they were against Trinity, I wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs.
That's fair. I got one last
Yes.
in terms of stepping it up. I got some other ratings for some other teams, but a team that needs to step it up on a personal level, on a personnel level. Gronky Kong, fix your roster.
We'll talk about that.
Oh my God, so many moves in the offseason, and all those guys are not playing. They're not there. They're not showing up. Ophir Levy's not even on the team anymore. Dave Del Rocca's hurt. Josh Levine has missed games. They added Francois Martin.
Yeah.
He's doing okay, but like he's not getting all the help he needs. Alexis Labonte, good pickup, not having enough of an impact. Like, what more do you need? This is like a competitive Division 5 roster that's just not getting it done.
We'll talk about what they can do
Yeah.
to improve themselves a little bit later on here. Second half of the season is here, PZ. The minimum.
So many more teams to hate on. Though.
I know. We can't do it all, though, because if we do, we're going to be here till tomorrow morning.
Yes, fair.
The minimum number of wins that will be needed. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. We said 5 to 6. But now we're seeing a boatload of 2-3s, 1-3, or 1-3-1 records here, pardon me.
Well, there's a huge division between.
It's a gap.
Yeah.
So how many
The
wins
gap
right now
is
to make the playoffs first and foremost?
Typically 5-5 gets it done. 4-6 will get it done, but you're going to need some help and some tiebreakers because, look, I think we have a lot of 8-2 and 9-1 teams, maybe a couple of undefeated teams.
Yeah.
So with that means that means there's more losses on the table than wins. So therefore, I think that 4-6 has a chance to get in. Mo, what's the record, the lowest record you've ever gotten to the playoffs in?
Oh God, 5-5.
Okay.
Quarterback Div 5-5 Div E 2013 with That's Big. But remember, Love Cows.
Love Cow 3-7 winner
3-7.
2010.
I asked Mo. See, you're not listening to the show. I asked Mo.
He doesn't know.
His
He
low,
just loves bringing up
but
the
again,
love
you're
cows.
still not listening
Yeah,
because I asked
the-
what Mo's experience was. It the lowest record he personally got into the playoffs with.
But Love Cows.
There we go, Eagle.
Love Cows though at 3-7 did qualify for the finals in 2010.
And they made the finals. And they made
And they got
which is
crushed.
impressive.
They got
We
crushed.
Eagle Chapman and I also qualified for the playoffs at 3-7, but we lost the first game of the playoffs, so that was less exciting. Although it came down to the last play. but
Hey,
it
we
was
made
less
it close
exciting.
against the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
All right, a bold prediction. What will happen in the second half of the year that is off the wall in your mind? Anything they can think of right now?
Bold prediction is I'm going to say the Spartans will lose a game. I have 3, by the way. Spartans will lose a game.
And you're not gonna wear the shirt, yeah.
Mokan will be humorous one time. And FPF will make a huge announcement. I would like to announce it now, but it may cause my career to take a fall.
The autumn wind has spoken.
I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just. I mean, I wouldn't want President Campana to hit me and I would fall down.
The autumn wind will take you,
Perhaps.
falling down. My bold prediction: the Tigers will win 7 games.
Woo! Oh, yeah. It's pretty bold.
7-3.
Oh, well, they're 6-2 now. So
They're 3-2
I mean,
now.
if you tell me like you know, I don't know.
LBJ.
LBJ.
We talked about them last
Go
week.
ahead,
They
go ahead.
almost lost. They almost had the jinx bestowed on them. They will be.
They survived the jinx, so they're good now.
They will lose 4 of the next 5 and finish 6-4.
You're out of your mind.
Tigers will finish
It's
first.
like you don't watch the games.
LBJ. I watch the games.
But it's
it's a
like
bold
you
prediction,
don't.
though.
Okay.
It's a bold
Are you
really-
watching the games in Braille?
I'm just saying that the LBJ will have that fall. It's a bold prediction, right? It's off
Oh,
the
it's
wall.
very bold.
It
Very
doesn't
bold.
mean that it has to be accurate, right?
Yeah.
Like your Spartans thing is going to be totally off because they're going to go undefeated, 10-0.
Nope. They're losing. I spotted two trap games.
You know what you got to do if you lose, aside from wearing the shirt.
I'm in. Whatever it is.
You gotta go to one. You have to go to the playoff game and lead their chant after every
I'm
big
in.
play.
I'm in.
Want some pom-poms?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
If you had $1 million right now,
I wouldn't be here.
no, you wouldn't be here with us. Thank God you wouldn't be here with us. Which team are you putting money on right now?
Les Bonhommes Jaunes come first to mind. The defense has been excellent. Marc-Antoine Vallée, Eric Duplessis, which I think is a street I lived on as a child, and Jeremy Ledoux all have 10 interceptions between them, which is amazing. But it doesn't pay out enough, Mo. And I'm more of a degenerate gambler, as Chapman knows.
As we
So
all know, yes.
The Tigers are a team, like I said, they can go on and run, and they're going to pay out way more. I'm going
And
Tigers.
They will be in first place,
Tigers.
and LBJ will be in second
No.
place. 6-4, 7-3, brother.
No, they'll beat Les Bonhommes Jaunes in the playoffs.
All right.
So I'll make money on that. I'll make that $1 million.
Looking at it right now, just quickly here, with Conference A right now, it appears we could have our team set in terms of who will be in the playoffs. We don't know what the rankings will be. But does Beast Mode, your team, and Face Jazz factor in at all? Or are they going to fall by the wayside? And end up
The tie hurts Beast Mode. Like a tie when you're 3-1-1's okay.
Yeah.
A tie when you're 1-3-1 is not okay. So the tie hurts, but I think they're gonna make noise. They're gonna be a spoiler for some teams. They're gonna have 3 to 4 wins, but because they have that tie, if 4 wins gets you in, they'll make the playoffs. If 4 wins needs to get you in, and they can't get there, then it's gonna be rough. You know what I mean? And
Face Jazz.
as for Face Jazz,
Yeah.
they factor into the bottom of the division. As for when you asked me who most disappointed me, it actually was Face Jazz because I was really high on Eddie Rousseau coming in because he really managed.
They have nice uniforms, by the way.
They do. They're beautiful.
Yeah, very tie-dyed.
Yeah.
Very 60s looking over there.
But they had you know what I mean? Like Rousseau led his team as a backup quarterback through the playoffs, right to the championship.
Yeah.
And then to see what he's digressed into right now, it's rough.
Uh,
Eddie, step it up, baby.
Eddie Russo, you're on the clock. Could all 6 teams in the West in Conference B make the playoffs?
Chap, can you list me those teams?
8 teams. I have them right here for you.
Please do.
Spartans.
Yes.
The
So
soon to
Chapman's just
be
fired. We don't need
yeah,
him.
You don't
soon to
need
be
me, no.
10-0 Spartans, Warriors, Trinity, Rolling Thunder, Le Huard, and Roadrunners. 8 will make it per conference, so 16 in total here. You have 12 teams per conference, so 8 out of 12 will make it. Right now, if the playoffs were to start today, only one of them would not make it, and that would be the Roadrunners, but they're only a game out from the last playoff spot.
Yeah.
Zhangi.
Just wanted to add, if you guys wanted to tweet your predictions, feel free to tweet at PsFPF or at EagleFPF.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do that. We have Twiddles.
Or at ModeCon19.
He's not a company
Do
man.
you have your phone with you?
My phone's in my pocket.
Ah.
So yes, 6 teams. Will they make it in the playoffs? All 6 of them.
All 6 from Conference B West?
Yeah.
No, because cannibalism will figure heavily. By that, I'm hoping I'm referring to the teams beating themselves and not actual cannibalism. But I
That'd
just
be
think
pretty bad.
Lee Huard have a brutal schedule. Roadrunners will get a bit better, so I think 4 to 6 teams will make it.
All right, then it is now time for the mid-season awards.
Mid-season awards, baby.
Which is fictional because what we say now may not happen in 5 weeks' time.
Because Rob will just decide what he wants,
Exactly.
regardless of our input.
Yeah, we hey Rob, I think so and so. Yeah, okay, great, good. And
Cool,
the winner is
Mo, I
Robert Cabana.
value your opinion,
But
but
at
I
the
think
end
I'm
of
going to
the
go.
At the end, they're going to go with this guy. Okay. All right, quarterback of the year right now at the midseason points.
Brad Hawaiian Shirt Evans.
That's an easy one though.
Yeah, but look, dude, he's so head and shoulders above everyone else, and he's not playing in a higher division right now, so he qualifies.
But does the 13 sacks deter you from that
No,
award?
because the one interception and 27 TDs means he's being safe with the ball. It's obvious. Like, look, he's taking sacks to protect the ball because he's completing nearly 74% of his passes.
Yeah.
Tees and Beer's winning, so it's not affecting them. They're putting up a lot of points. Tees and Beer, Brad Evans, you can wear your Hawaiian shirt right to the award ceremony.
And if he does, congratulations.
Yeah.
Receiver of the year.
This is interesting.
This is close.
I'm not going to talk about Justin Lerner for no apparent reason. Wink. But I'm going to lead it with Jameel Greenidge.
Oh.
10 touchdowns.
That's my two-way, actually.
He's not my two-way.
Oh.
He's not my two-way. But he's up there. He's got 10 catches. But I did also 10 touchdowns out of 29 catches. I did also consider Miles Keeler, who's a guy who, I remember seeing him early in his career in FBF. He's improved so much.
Yeah.
And deserves credit because he's I know crafty usually means slow, and I don't mean it in this case. He's just good at getting open. He's good at getting separation, good at running routes, crafty receiver.
What's that stereotype they use for white receivers? Run good routes, high football
IQ.
IQ.
Yeah. He's smart.
Smart
Jumps out
possession
of the
receiver.
He's a gym rat. No, but he's just good in finding space and finding holes in zones, and he's a good job. He has good chemistry with the quarterback, and that's he's helped Brad Evans get to where he is right now. And then Alexis Bissett's a guy who I like personally, just because, man, after 17 catches, you're still putting up 24 yards a catch. It's absolutely ridiculous. He just needs to catch a couple more touchdowns, and he's right in it.
I got Keeler winning this award. I think the projection of potentially 40 catches, maybe over 400, 500 yards, and perhaps 15-plus TDs is what's going to win it for me. I know you look at Bissett, he has 17 catches.
So Jameel Greenidge is your two-way.
Two-way, yes.
But you don't have Justin Lerner as receiver of the year.
No, it's too obvious, though.
Obvious, dude. He's already has 400 yards.
I know, but at the end of the day, I think Keeler's going to be able to put up some good numbers in the second half of the year. Lerner does his thing. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but at the end of the day, I think
So do you eat popsicles after they melt? Because eating them when they have popsicle on them is too obvious.
You don't.
It's too obvious.
You guys
are eating them wrong.
The citric sugar is so good to have once it's melted up.
Right.
Defensive play of the year in your mind?
I looked at. There's two rushers I find interesting. I like Cedric Jeté-Lemay from Aliens,
which we talked about a few weeks ago.
Which we talked about, and you're not going to win that bad. And we have Nathaniel Niederman, from GYR, 12 sacks, just slightly behind him. But both rushers look good, on pace to put up big numbers. I think you gotta do something big in the second half though, because you gotta surpass 25 sacks in my opinion to get considered. And then William Power from Smoking Axles. He's the guy I've been on since I played with him in an exhibition game in the preseason. I was like, man, this guy is good. He's a really good player, and he's a guy that a lot of us pundits hadn't talked about till this season.
All right, look, I know we're running short on time here, but on your next show that you're going to be doing, Sideline Stories, you're going to talk about the 0-5 teams and what they can do to improve themselves, correct?
Yes.
So a hint to those teams who are in the bottom rung.
I mean, we're going to go specifically through the teams that are 0-5, 1-4, kind of struggling.
Yeah.
But for this show, I just want to say, pretty much everyone here has played on a winless or close to winless team early on in their careers.
Yeah.
So what it takes is, don't do that thing where you're switching quarterbacks every week or twice in a game, and don't throw deep all the time. Decide who your quarterback is. He's only going to get better by throwing the ball. Learn how to properly manage the game, how to take your shots when necessary, and not necessarily putting it up all the time. And then aside from that, learning who the key pieces are of your team. If someone's a really good friend, but
it's a really bad football player,
maybe hang out at a bar, buy him a beer
instead.
instead.
For NFL Sunday.
Yeah, we hang out, watch football together, but maybe don't play together. And that's really all it is. Make sure you have the right players around you. Make sure that your quarterback gets enough work to get better each season, and just find ways to win. Watch games too. Come ask us on the sidelines. Listen to sideline stories. That's a great way to learn too.
Coming up next at 9 p.m. Right?
Yeah, that's cross promotion there.
That is cross promoting. It is now time for
Games of the week.
Thank you.
Wow, that delay.
Sorry, I want to hear
Wowzers.
Matt say it first off camera because I was like, man, that's an impressive impression of me.
All right, here we go. 4 games. Let's go, Hunger Games.
So for game 1 is Crusaders versus Rolling Thunder. 3.5 point favorites are the Crusaders. Playoff spot is on the line.
Wait, the Crusaders are favorites
Yes.
Yeah.
because of.
Vegas screwed up. Or
Vegas screwed
their
up.
calculators broke.
Take that $1 million. I was gonna bet on the Tigers. I'm putting all of that on Rolling Thunder.
I'm taking Crusaders, brother.
You're out of your mind.
And they're going to pull the upset this week.
I get points and the better team. Done. Rolling Thunder.
They're going to win this.
Plus, I think Rolling Thunder's at home.
That doesn't make a
Home
difference.
field. Home field is a real big difference here in FPF. Next game.
Jaggies and Chill versus the Aliens. The Aliens are 2.5 point favorites.
I love it.
Both teams 3-2. Playoff spot to be had.
Yeah, give me Jaggies and Chill. It's gonna be a close game. I think Aliens will win, but it'll be like a point or two max.
So the 2.5 will be 1 point, if not 2 point victory. Give me Aliens to win and cover.
Cool.
Sutan Clan versus Les Huards.
Les Heward.
Les Hewards. The Hewards.
Brock Ewards, the funny
8.5 point favorites are the STC.
It's funny because you just read the script, so you couldn't piece together that STC is Sutan.
Oh, no, I pieced it together. I just thought it'd be better if I said it this way.
That's a lot of points. I'm going Les Heward.
Sutan Clan.
GYR versus Roadrunners. GYR are 6.5 point favorites.
Give me Roadrunners to... Yeah, GYR won't cover that. Give me Roadrunners.
Give me GYR to cover and win.
Nice, 4 different ones.
Yep. That's how we roll. What did you learn in today's episode?
I learned from last week on Twitter that Numocon, professional media journalist,
Yes.
do not know anything about basketball, nor do you watch basketball, nor should you ever talk about basketball. And the
boy, here we
NBA should
go.
put a ban on you because
Yes, NBA's gonna block you from talking about the
the
NBA.
2000s Sacramento Kings is not nearly the same animal.
No,
as-
but the idea is the offensive run and gun
okay, but we've
philosophy.
seen it from Orlando. We've seen it from Phoenix.
Orlando? What did Orlando do? With who?
They were the first team to put up. I'm not doing
Who? Shaq and
Not
Penny and Nick Anderson?
No, the team later with all the 3-point shooting that they had
With who?
in 2006. The Richardsons. And anyway, we're running out of time.
Please.
Watch a basketball game. Feel better about yourself.
You stick to watching your Raptors, okay?
Take a NyQuil. Go to bed.
All right.
Take a NyQuil.
All right.
If you want to eat melted popsicles, try Mr. Freeze instead.
Good night, Cardiff Wells.